Yo, what's up guys? Universal Mastery. So, what I do on my channel is I break down the occult sciences, and I break them down in a way that most people don't do. And the goal is so that you can use the things that I'm talking about in my videos and apply them in your own life to get real, solid, tangible results with what you're learning. Okay, that's exactly what my whole channel is geared towards. So what we're going to be talking about in today's video is something specifically that nobody's talking about, and I know why. The reason why no one's talking about this, and when I say no one, I mean like literally 90, probably 98% of people. And the reason why they're not talking about it is because they don't know. It's just that simple. It's that straight. And I didn't know for a very long time either. This is actually something that I've learned quite recently, but it's something that I always intuitively know. So I'm going to be going into that within this video, but I actually recently came across the science and the reason why people don't know this, what I'm about to share in this video, which is something that's huge. And I'm sure this video will get a lot of views because of what it's going to be titled and what it's about. So what we're going to be talking about in today's video is the 7 chakra system. And what is it really? What exactly is the 7 chakra system? Because it's not what you may think it is. And quite frankly, it's built to cause harm to those who utilize it and try to meditate on their chakras and grow their chakras. And I'm going to be covering exactly why that is in this video. I'm going to give you the context that you need to have clarity on, once again, what it is that I'm talking about, because I know there's a lot of people that have done chakra work and are like, wait a minute, I don't know about this, like, what do you mean? So I'm going to be covering all this in the video. So if you want to know a little bit more about the 7 chakra system and why and how it's set up against you, then definitely stay tuned for the rest of this video. Okay, so the first thing I want to say though is definitely go and check out my Patreon. On my Patreon, I have exclusive videos. Some of that content is going to be geared towards actual practices that I perform on camera, and I teach you how to do them yourself so that you can get 100% success, as long as you're consistent and as long as you have the mindset and the intention of wanting to be successful, you will. Okay, then the other bit of the videos are going to be geared towards what I like to call educational entertainment, which is a video like this. The video's entertaining, but you're also getting huge amounts of value from it as well. So where you're going to be able to find the Patreon is if you go to the description, you're going to click that, then you're going to see the drop down. It's going to be the very first link at the top. It says My Patreon right next to it. And in order to gain access to these exclusive videos, which are only on the Patreon and not on YouTube, you have to at least be a tier 2 member or up. So in order to be a tier 2, it costs $9.95 a month, and that is a reoccurring payment. But if you do the math, that literally comes out to less than $1 a day. So there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to afford that, especially with the value that I have on there. So other than that, as you go up in tiers, the benefits go up as well. And I would love to give a special shout out to the top tier members. Their names are going to be mentioned right below that Patreon link. So definitely sending a lot of powerful energy your way. All right, so other than that, let's go right into this video. So where do I start? Okay, so I know where I'm going to start. I'm going to create the context. Okay, so as I said in the intro and in the beginning of the video, I was talking about the 7 chakra system and how it's set up against you. Okay, so what exactly is the 7 chakra system? Let me show you. So it's funny because right around the time, this is really interesting and how this works, but right around the time when I came to this knowledge and I came to this information, my mom got me this. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to let my camera see if it can zoom in on that. My mom had got me this. And as you can see, this is the 7 chakras right here. So it says third eye, root, sacral, crown, heart, throat, and solar plexus. And I don't know if you can see, but I never opened it. Okay, never even opened it. This has the stones in there. You can open it. So I just want you guys to know that like what I'm telling you on this video is very real, very true. And I had this before I came across the knowledge and the studying that I needed to come across to really logically understand why the 7 chakra system is not healthy and why it's set up against whoever's using it. But I always said intuitively, just like I did at the beginning of this video, I never did chakra meditations. I have never once done a chakra meditation. There have been times where I thought about it, where I was like, maybe I should be doing chakra meditations, maybe I should focus on my chakras, but I never once ever did. I've never done a meditation or a practice where I sat and I just imagined my chakras growing and growing. And there was always a reason why I never did it. There was always an inner intuition that I had that told me, you don't need to do that. Don't do that. You're fine. Don't worry about your chakras. Don't do it. It was always that. My intuition always said no. It was always like, nope, don't do it. Don't do your chakra meditation. You don't need to do that. And I never knew why, but this is for years. It's been like that. Now, and as you can see, I never opened this. Like the seal is still on. So this is just to give you like a little bit of an idea of, you know, how serious I am about this. Like I've had this once again before I came across the information and I still didn't open it. So yeah, so sure enough, shortly after I received that as a gift, my mom got it for me. That's when I came across the information of the chakras. And it's not like I was necessarily seeking it. I wasn't really like actively, consciously looking for it, but it was information that I needed to come across. And sure enough, I came across a specific YouTube channel where it is a high-level magician, someone who's very adept with the occult, that explains the science of why the chakra system is set up against people and why it's set up to pretty much drain your energy dry. And he talks about it, basing it off of a bunch of different occult books and just basing it off the background of our governmental system and the corrupt side that is, you could say, the shadow of our government. So there, you could think of this. There's a lot of corruption already going on in our government when it comes to like politicians, when it comes to certain types of corporations that are really big. But imagine the shadow of that corruption, which means it's a lot darker than the darkest thing that you probably could try and think of. It's a lot worse than that. And that stuff is going on within our government. So he went into the science, and if you want to know who I'm talking about, definitely send me a message. I will let you know what YouTube channel I got this information from. And for me, studying what he was talking about with the chakra system, it gave me clarity that I needed on something that I intuitively understood for many years. So it was really cool to have come across that information. But now that I know what I know, I feel like it's, you know, part of what I'm supposed to do is share this knowledge to other people. Once again, there's going to be people, thankfully I'm a black magician, so there's going to be people that watch this video and they're not going to believe me. And they're going to want to say I'm full of shit. And they're going to be like, oh no, I'm not, I don't believe that, like you're wrong, all that stuff. And that's fine, that's okay. I'm not trying to convince you, okay? This is not a video of me trying to convince anybody. This is me just stating what is true, and you can either accept it or you don't have to accept it. Either way, it's not going to affect me. What does affect me is the fact that I've come across this knowledge, I know it's true, so because I have a link with Source, because I'm connected with Source, I have to give the opportunity for people to learn, you know, about the truth and about what's really going on in the occult. So it is what it is. Take it or leave it, okay? And I know there will be people that watch this and do get tons of value from it. So that's great if that's you. So going into it, so that's the context that we want to start with, is the corruption that is going on in our government. So the richest people, and I've talked about this in a few other of my recent videos, but the richest people in our society are going to be people in the nature of the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Jeff Bezoses, in these inner Jewish rabbis that have the knowledge on the Kabbalah, right? Because if you take a look, most of the occult orders that are professional are basing a lot of their initiation and basing a lot of their rituals and practices off of the Kabbalah. And I've gone into other, in other videos, I've gone into how and why they're using the wrong tree, but that's not what this video is about. You can look at those in my previous videos. But the richest people, the real 1% in our society that are pretty much running the society, they're in control of the corruption. These people are a lot more sinister and a lot more corrupt than you think. And I'm saying that as a statement. I'm not saying they might be. No, they are. A lot more sinister, dark, and corrupt than you may think. Okay? And they are very smart. Like when it comes to the spiritual science of the occult, they have all the books. They have all the people they need. They have money. They can pay for mentors. They can pay for certain experiences to learn more about the occult. And they have the real information. Information that even some of the most professional occultists do not have access to because they're not a part of this inner elite, this 1%. Okay? And this is just a fact. I'm not saying you're weaker if you're not part of this 1%. I'm actually a lot more powerful than them on a spiritual degree because I'm not trying to destroy the world in regards to prevent people from evolving and reaching their highest potential. So they're not, as Yoda says, with great power comes great responsibility. They are the greatest example of not using power responsibly, and that's why they're actually starting to get a lot of blowback from the levels of control and corruption that they've been injecting into our society for this amount of time. It's been hundreds of years that this has been going on. That's why they're known to be a bloodline, inner bloodline. There's a lot of like family ties within this 1% group. It's not saying they're all family, but there's a lot of family ties. But as I said, these people are very smart when it comes to real occult knowledge, meaning they know how to utilize psychic warfare to completely destroy somebody. Someone that's not adept. Someone that is unaware. Easily. Like a fly, they could destroy somebody. And they're using that power to control people, to control their states of mind, to control their psychological states, to cause people to do certain things, to shift certain events that are going on in the world today. All this kind of stuff. So they're also very aware of what direction people move in when they start to pursue their spiritual path. When people want to actually start walking the path that is going to give them the wisdom and the understanding, the knowledge that they need to evolve and actually figure out what's going on in our society and figure out what's going on in the world today and what's going on within themselves in terms of their own personal evolution. This inner 1% is very aware of that. They're aware what people think when they first start to have what's known as like a spiritual awakening, when they start to open their eyes. And one of the biggest traps that they've actually created, this was created by them on an astral and a physical, mental, psychological, emotional level. So what does that mean when something's created on an astral level? That means there's a group of adept occultists that have come together and have done ritual to form structures on the astral plane, which are actually real, tangible structures. Meaning, when something gets formed on the astral plane like that, that means other people can interact with that same thing that they've formed. So, for example, if I got a group of people and we raised enough energy through ritual, through the practice that we were doing, and we all imagined this, you could say we created this building, right? We all created this big building in our minds, and we were all in tune, like saying like, hey, we're all going to think on this, we're all going to think about this, we're going to all work together with our intention to create this building, and this building is going to be, you know, real in all of our imaginations, and we're going to also imagine that if you walk inside that building, you're going to feel powerful, and you're going to start healing, and you're just going to feel like you're energized and things of that nature. If I get a group of people that all do that, and we set it up in a ritualistic way, and we start channeling spirits or energies that can help empower the ritual, This building that we're all imagining is actually becoming something real on the astral plane. Meaning, once all of us depart, that were a part of the ritual, once all of us go back to our homes, there could be somebody else that is starting to pursue their spirituality, that's just starting to realize how to travel in the astral plane. They're starting to realize that what they thought in the past was them daydreaming, they're actually starting to realize that they can take control of what's going on in their imagination. Someone like that is just getting into this practice can stumble across that building that me and my people created from that ritualistic experience, because it is that real. Because in my mind and in all of the people that did the ritual with me, we all intended and imagined the same building. Even though your imagination may be a little bit different than mine, it's still creating a very similar structure. It's a building. A building is a building is a building, okay? And when you enter into the building, the intention, if we all had the same intention, heal, regeneration, more energy, more powerful, then that becomes real on the astral plane, meaning all of us know about this building because we're all a part of the ritual, which means we can go into it and we can walk out of it astrally. But it is such a real thing on the astral plane. The astral is so tangible because if you think of it, it's like the Matrix. There's a bunch of numbers, floating around us right now. That is really what's going on. And you can change those numbers to create something, just like everything is made out of energy, and energy is different codes of numbers. That's literally what it is. So we've structured something on the astral plane, and someone else that is starting to delve into astral experiences that's new or even advanced, doesn't matter, can come across that building that me and my people created. And when they enter that building, they will have the same experience that we programmed that building to do. For example, if they enter that building, they'll feel better, they'll feel healed, they'll feel like they have more energy, all the things that we intended when we created it. So this is how you create things on the astral plane. Now, the more people that energize that astral creation, the more powerful it's going to be. And we can even put intentions into that building where we want the right people to be drawn in. I could put an intention that whoever's looking for a building like this that needs healing, this is going to naturally magnetize them to this building. And if I put that intention in and I have enough power and energy to make that, to solidify that, then that will naturally magnetize people in. So someone could just be getting into occult practices and start learning about the astral plane, and they come across this building, and in their mind they have no idea what the fuck they're experiencing. They're like, what the hell is this? There's this big building, it's huge, let me maybe go into it, let me go inside of it, let me see what happens. And then they walk in, they're like, whoa, this is really cool, I like this is interesting, I still don't know what I'm exactly experiencing. And then they close the door and then they leave. And then suddenly they start to realize that they feel better, they feel a little bit more healthy, and they have more energy. But that same person that walked in the building actually may not fully understand how it was even created, and that the building is what made them feel good. All they know is now they feel good. But that's how the astral plane works. So when it comes to this inner group, taking it back now to the 7 chakra system, when it comes to this inner group, this inner elite that are sinister and do not have anyone's best interest in mind except for them that are involved in that 1%, they have created the chakra system in that way to specifically create holes in your energy body. So all of the 7 chakras, which they say are directly aligned to the planets, they are specific parasitic energies that widen holes in you could think of your energy body, your aura. Okay, the energy body that we have as human beings, every single person has an energy body, some bigger than others. But when you do chakra meditation, it's programmed in the astral plane by very advanced occultists who utilize magic in its proper form to suck people's awareness through the chakra and back into them. It's programmed to do that. So every single chakra center that you have, all those 7 ones, are once again created on the astral to suck energy out of you. And when you draw your awareness, which is your willpower, your most powerful ability that any person has is their will, is their awareness. When you draw that very valuable thing that you have, your awareness, on these centers, you are now placing your awareness into an energetic, you can almost think of it as like a small form of a vacuum. And it's sucking a bit of an aspect of your awareness through that chakra, which you think is a part of your energy body, making you whatever, better, stronger, more enlightened, all those things, healthier, more balanced. But really, it's actually taking your awareness away and lowering your energetic vibration, lowering your aura. And every single one of the chakras is a different type of, you could think, vacuum that sucks that energy out through your awareness. That's why when you do chakra meditations, you're taking your awareness on all of the different chakras. That's what they want you to do. And remember, they've programmed in the astral for the chakra system to do that to people. And they're so sinister about it that it's also programmed to make people think that what they're doing is in their best interest. So people are like, oh, it's working, I'm getting results, but really they're not. And what tends to happen is once someone's awareness is completely sucked out, once they've done enough chakra meditation, that's when they say when the Kundalini rises, right? Then the crown chakra fully opens. Really what's going on, that's not what's happening. The Kundalini is not rising. Your awareness is being sucked so dry that your awareness is being sucked out of your body, then your energetic field gets so low that then parasitic entities and spirits then can feed off of you. And these parasitic entities and spirits are very similar spirits that are possessing this inner elite group that set up the chakra system in the first place. So these parasitic entities that then feed off of you, you can think of them as a larvae. So once you've done all that chakra meditation, and then you're at the top of your head now, where that's where the crown chakra is. What you can really think of is a parasitic entity that sits on top of your head that's now just sucking all your awareness out completely. And in order for it to suck your awareness out of your head, where your brain is the largest, one of the best EMFs that the human being has to receive energy, to receive knowledge from the different dimensions. That's why they focus on the crown chakra, because once you've lowered your energy body enough from all the other chakras, then it can gain access to your crown, your head energy centers. Then it sucks that awareness, and then you start channeling things that you don't know you're channeling. But really what's going on is now there's this larvae, you can think of it like a larvae that sits on top of your head, sucking your awareness out. And then what you're channeling is other different parasitic spirits that are all wanting to feed off of you. And then your entire awareness is now run by that parasite and run by that larvae. So this is what happens when people do tons and tons of chakra meditation, and then it leads to that experience where they get to their crown chakra, and once again they think the Kundalini is rising. It has nothing to do with their Kundalini. All it has to do with your Kundalini is sucking it out of your body, sucking your sexual energy out. Then it gets the crown chakra. Once you draw your awareness there, then that's where the parasite is feeding off the top of your head, because from all the previous chakra workings that you've done, you've already lowered your aura or your energy field enough for that parasite to gain access to the top of your head and to that level of your awareness. Because there are energy centers in our body. That's a fact. There are many energy centers in your head, many energy centers throughout your entire body. It's not just the 7 chakras. The 7 chakras is once again just geared to suck energy out of you by this inner elite group that is very aware. When people first start to get into occult practices, that is one of the first things that they're going to do is chakra meditation. They want to get you before you gain power. They want to get you before you gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They want to get you, okay? They want to make sure that when you start to want to pursue a path to evolve, they want to get you right off at the very beginning. And this is what one of the most mainstream practices you can ever find is the 7 chakras. Everyone talks about it. But you'll find that when people get that parasite on top of their head, they don't know it, okay? They don't know that this is running them. They don't know that their awareness is now completely transferred over to the parasite. So if you try to tell them or whatever, they're not going to know, and they'll fight against you because you're not talking to them. You're talking to the parasite, okay? And you'll notice that their hair starts to turn gray really quick. You'll notice that they start to go bald in the middle of their head. How many people do you know that have a big bald spot in the middle of their head? It's because the parasite is sucking out energy from the top of their head, and that's just a physical manifestation of how that starts to look within time. And you know, so that, you know, that starts happening, and then you notice that their life doesn't show results of what they say they are and what they say that they're capable of. So this typically happens to light workers, because light workers are huge on the 7 chakra system. That's why I walk the left-hand path, is because the left-hand path works with demonic and dark matter chaotic spirits, some of the most powerful that have rulership over many different legions that run what's going on Earth. And when you start to develop relationships with these spirits, they can make you immune, and they do make you immune to these different types of parasites that I'm talking about. So when you're a black magician and you, once again, work with the Clifothic spirits, work with the infernal, you don't get affected the same way that the average person would. So you can literally bypass any types of parasites, even if you did chakra meditation. So a black magician can do chakra meditation, and it's not going to even affect them the same way, because they've already bypassed that within themselves. They've already changed their energy body to a specific type of, you could say, energy body that doesn't allow parasites. It's too powerful. And that's what happens when you work with dark spirits: Hecate, Lucifer, Belial, Asmodee, Satan, Moloch, Lilith, Nama, Beelzebub, all these types of spirits. Ars Goetia demons can do it too. This is why it's so powerful to be a left-hand path and a black magician, because you gain immunity from these things. But that is a huge trap, and that's why, so that's why in religions you're told to stay away from the demons. That's why you're told to stay away from devils. That's why you're told to stay away from the dark side. That's why everything's promoting light in our society, because they don't want you to know what I'm sharing. They don't want you to work with those beings, because they will give you immunity to that. That is just what a lot of people get stuck in. You know, so people start off their path and, you know, once again, trying to spiritually evolve, and then next thing you know, they're doing all these chakra meditations, all these light meditations, all this stuff that has been pre-programmed to suck your awareness dry and make you food for a parasite. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how it's set up. And there is a way, you know, if you've gotten to that point where that's happened, you can get out of it, but it's going to take a lot of work. And it has everything to do with walking down the left-hand path once you know, if that's happened to you. But most likely, if you're there and that's happened to you, you're probably not watching this video, okay? You're probably not even, yeah, you're like, most likely, I can guarantee you're not watching this video. But this, you know, this is what I wanted to share in this video. You know, what happens with the 7 chakra system and what people do not understand and what people don't know about it. So once again, you can take it, you can take this information, you know, run with it, or you don't have to believe what I'm saying. Like, honestly, once again, I'm not trying to convince you anything is true here. Regardless of what path you walk, I'm still gaining power. I'm still on my journey. I'm still evolving. Okay, that's what I do. If you don't, you know, once again, it doesn't affect me. It actually gives me more energy if you choose the wrong route, because all those parasites that give energy back to that inner elite, that energy comes back to me in the long run. Okay, it goes to the elite and I feed off the elite. So they give me their energy. So either way, it cycles back to me and people that have developed themselves the way I have, which are the left-hand path vampires. So yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave it. hit the thumbs up if you like this video, hit the notification bell and the subscribe button if you felt like you got value out of this video. And I will be making a video on what it's like to free yourself from this level of imprisonment that the 7 chakra system can place on you. Okay, I will be making a video covering all that and what it's like to get rid of your 7 chakra awareness. And I'll also cover some other things about like what it feels like to be run by this parasite. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I've never done chakra meditation or ritual or anything in that nature, but I have, like, you don't have to, like, chakras aren't the only thing that can cause a parasite to feed off of you. I've definitely been fed off by parasites before. I know this for a fact. Like, I could tell in my awareness that something wasn't me. I could just sense that, like, this is not me. I don't feel right. I don't like this. And in the video that I'll make covering the 7 chakra system, how to get rid of your chakra awareness, I'm also going to cover, you know, once again, what it feels like to be run by that parasite. And I'm also going to cover what it feels like to get rid of it. Okay, how to really align with what's known as your true will, how to come into alignment with yourself. And I'll even go into how to initiate yourself to a level where that can never happen to you again. You know, complete immunity, like permanent immunity. So I'll be covering all this stuff in the future. But other than that, if you have any questions, I definitely know this is like mind-blowing. This is a huge eye-opener for a lot of people. A lot of you are gonna be like a little bit iffy about it because I'm sure a lot of you have done chakra meditation before to some degree, some more than others. But you're probably like, I don't know, that's a little scary to hear. It's a little like I don't want to believe it because I did it. But you know, that's what the shadow is all about, and that's what shadow work is about. Is, you know, you make mistakes in your life, and you've got to accept those mistakes that you make. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're screwed forever, and it doesn't mean that. It just, if your intention is you want to grow and you want to learn about what mistakes you made and how you can, you know, improve yourself from having made those mistakes, then that's the path that will be paved for you. And once again, I'll be covering a lot of that in the video to come. But I'm going to leave it there. I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful rest of the night or day, wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.